Hey, folks, it's the Tito Show. I am Tito, Jeff Thitoff. Follow me on Twitter, @ThatHappens. The man to my left, the man on the other side there. People get us confused sometimes. We look so much alike. He is Jimmie Bell, former Ohio State great defensive lineman, Rose Bowl champion.
What's up?
How you doing today, Jimmy?
Man, I'm doing incredible. People do confuse us because we're both equally as unattractive. But we have great voices.
Yes, we do. We'll have Ryan Baker join us a little bit, talk some high school football. He's on loan from 97.1 The Fan. And Jimmy, Ohio State takes on Washington this week. And I'm curious from a player's perspective, the bye week comes upon, and I think it's at a pretty good time for Ohio State. They get the signature win over Texas.
Yep.
Then they get the blowout, damn near perfect game against Grambling State.
Yep.
They endure against Ohio University, and now they get this 2 weeks split here now before they have to worry about going into the road environment with a young quarterback.
Yeah.
In a bye week, am I making up too big of a deal of that, or is that really a big thing?
Bye weeks suck.
Okay.
Bye weeks suck for us. And understand the psyche. We've come from a winter grind, right? Spring grind,
right,
to a summer grind.
Okay.
We don't want to grind anymore. This is what coaches do. Any dead space,
right,
becomes a freaking grind.
Okay.
So we'd rather just stay in the consistency. Once you get into the season, believe it or not, the consistency of your schedule and your flow prevails.
Okay.
Bye weeks are good, and obviously for a team, because it does allow you, whether our ignorance wants us to understand it or not, bro, we do heal up, right? We're not banging as much on Saturday. We're healing up. We're getting treatment.
Right.
We're getting our school together. Our mental is together. But bro, that grind is different because now you think about it. You play on Saturday.
Right.
Sunday's probably going to change a little bit, but you're still coming in to watch film. Bro, you're starting practice legit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Where generally it's Sunday,
right,
Monday, Tuesday,
right,
Wednesday, walk through Thursday.
Okay.
You're playing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
You know, so the weeks are a little more short.
Okay.
Coming to that bye week, baby, whoo. You thinking about all 7 days. You're like, get me out of here.
So Washington looks like a pretty tough environment to play in. I'm not sure what's the most difficult road environment you've had to play in.
Oh man, listen. So I had a podcast I do something with Doug Worthington, and he says something very interesting. And he let the people understand what this means. Sometimes people think that the bigger crowds are the loudest, but they're not necessarily, right? But I will say this, when it comes to crowd noise, people understand there's only a few stadiums in the world when it comes to college football that no matter what game it is, it's full.
Okay.
And they get live. We're one of them. But, bro, Penn State, that doggone erector set, bro.
Yeah.
They can suck. And it's full. And if you're on the outside, it looks like that joker's going side to side, side to side. They don't care. I don't know what's in that water. It ain't much there to do.
Right.
Right. So everything is like your favorite entertainer's concert for football, I guess.
Right.
It gets pretty nutty. So they are definitely consistently the loudest that you're going to find. When you go to Penn State, it's almost deafening. It's so deafening that for me, I'm in my head and I don't hear anything. Okay. Because I have no reason to hear anything. That's how loud it is. It gets pretty crazy.
Okay. So going into this game now with Washington, I mean, you've got a young quarterback. And I think it's more important to have an experienced offensive line and a young quarterback than a young offensive line an experienced quarterback in that situation. Does that make sense?
It does. I think we're in a different space in college football altogether. With transfer portal, the developmental process is totally different, right? So I think it's the experience of the coaches and the experience of the fellas that's going to be more prevalent than anything else, in my opinion, right now. So you got young guys, you got some veterans on our team that have never played a Big Ten game, period.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's not just those things. So It's not just it's the experience of the individual. Bro, that's a really good question. Oh, bro, anytime you have anything, the center of your success is going to be the offensive line.
Right.
So how your offensive line chooses to perform in that environment, like if you think about it, if say we get a play and they get a sack and it breaks down, people automatically is going to blame it on the goddamn crowd.
Sure, right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's going to make it that way. And if your fellas aren't strong enough,
Right.
they're going to buy into the bull.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they go strong and they're protecting everybody, they're going to be like, oh, they prevailed against the crowd. Hey, man, get out of here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is going to be interesting. Washington is a very loud place. We played in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
We went up there. We played them when Napoleon Kaufman got his chance to start his first game.
Yeah.
And Lord have mercy. That mofo is the way.
He's slippery.
If people go back and Google and YouTube Napoleon Kaufman, how he looks, he looks like a video game on video.
Right.
That's exactly how he is on TV. You're like, what in the world? And why are your feet moving so damn fast?
Sure.
So they got us a little bit. They weren't better than us.
Uh-huh.
I think we just weren't necessarily prepared for him and possibly the athleticism. But back in the 90s, they were kind of premier. They were up there.
They were.
In the
they
game.
were elite program.
They have a strong stadium.
Yeah.
I was saying that Iowa-ish range. Iowa gets pretty crazy, pretty nutty. They're one of the smaller stadiums that gets pretty crazy, but nothing like what we've already experienced at Ohio Stadium. Nothing like what we've experienced when we hang out in Penn State, bro. Not even close.
When I look at this Washington team, and I think that the biggest advantage Ohio State's going to have is along the defensive front. I think that Washington's offensive line is very pedestrian. And I think that Ohio State's defensive line, if they can be aggressive, I'm curious how aggressive Matt Patricia is going to be, but if they can be aggressive, I think they can neutralize any athleticism the Washington's quarterback has got.
Yeah, that's tough because it's okay. Think about this. And I know this is going to sound contrary to what most people think.
Mm-hmm.
If their offensive line is sturdy, it's going to minimize him even having to run around.
Okay, fair.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The more that they're going to break down and look ridiculous,
right? Now
we're getting into a place that scares me.
Okay.
Because now you're getting into a place where you have a really good quarterback. How about this? A good quarterback. Let me take my really back.
Okay.
You take a good quarterback,
right?
This athletic, and now he has holes everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Not because his offensive line is creating them,
right? Because
our defensive line is mobbing them,
okay,
and it's giving him an opportunity to run around 5 yards. We've seen these type of games all the time where one team is dominating the game,
right?
But the defense of the dominating team is still chasing around,
right,
the opposing quarterback all 4 quarters. Like, man, can we stop this dude? Right? He's the only one keeping him in the game. So that's the only thing that scares me. If their offensive line is stout,
yeah,
then we're going to have to contend with that running back more than the quarterback.
I've made this comment before, and I try to keep in the right context, but it's just this team, the running back situation is giving me some 0-2 vibes. And what I mean by that, and Bo Jackson did not burst on the scene like Maurice Clarett did. Bo Jackson's a very good running back, but I know what Clarett did when Clarett got here 0-2 his first couple games, ran off like 175 against like Texas Tech, I think, to start off. Okay, so I look at it, and you've got a rookie running back, fresh running back, and then you've got a couple of veteran guys on there as well, kind of like the Lydell Ross and the Maurice Hall kind of duo that Ohio State had in 0-2. And I kind of see that here where Bo Jackson gets the most talented running back in the group. Just a question how many carries he's going to get. And I'm curious now, having the week off, the week to get ready for this. I'm sorry, what do they call it? They call it improvement week, not the bye week, the improvement week. Having the improvement week, I wonder how much Bo Jackson's usage is going to potentially change.
Okay, check this out. I'm going to give you a better, I'm a tag on. What was J.K. Dobbins' year?
Was that 19, 20? Yeah, somewhere in there, right? Yeah.
And who was the running back in contrary to J.K.?
I can't remember who it was. Who am I forgetting?
I'd have to let my computers down. Pull that joke up.
Okay.
Because it's going to be meaningful.
Okay. I bet Baker's listening to us and knows the answer. But okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, Bake, tell us what it is. Stop playing. Stop playing.
Okay, let's see here. Dobbins. Let's see here. He went.
It was somebody
17,
that had a good
18.
year.
Okay.
And JK came in as a freshman.
Right.
And the point is so when you talk about the lie down loss. When you talk about Lydell Ross,
right,
they were two pretty good running backs.
Right.
So we didn't really have a starter. So when the next guy came in, even though he was totally incredible,
they had Dobbins, they had Mike Weber.
There you go, Mike Webb.
Yeah, Big Mike. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Mike's was off the hook. Mike was good. So if you guys remember, and I said this, it's documented. I did it with Munch.
Yeah.
I did it with the regular TV station.
Yeah.
I said, listen, y'all, I understand Mike Weber's our guy.
Right.
He's earned his spot.
Yeah.
There's just some times where certain people are on a different level.
Right.
Like when you watch Lamar Jackson play quarterback, whether people like Lamar Jackson or not, they always make this Baker comparison to Lamar. Baker's a dope quarterback. Lamar is what you call an elite athlete.
Okay.
Because when you see it on the field, you're like, God, dang, that dude is bouncy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's how JK was when he played, in difference to Mike Weber.
Okay.
Well, that's what you're getting from Bo.
Okay.
You got two solid running backs, and then you get Bo.
Right.
No matter where we put him on that chart of 1 to 10, when it comes to the fellas, wherever they are,
right,
1 to 6 to 7, Bo is, if we're going to give our current running backs a 6,
right,
then Bo's an 8.
Okay.
And it's the athletic ability, it's the movement, it's the bouncing, it's just what they call the eye test.
Yeah.
There's a particular eye test that you see, and Bo Jackson just has that little extra something, and I think it's legit.
That's a great. I like that comparison. Much better than Mike Weber one. I'll tell you that. You got a prediction for the game on Saturday?
What did I say? I said 30, and I think it's going to be a dominant performance by us. I think it's going to be. I think I said 33-20.
Okay.
And I know people think that's close, but again, I think they have a really good wide receiver. They have a good running back. And I do believe that there's going to be a lot of pressure for us. We're going to be putting so much pressure. This dude's going to be running around there like Mario Brothers, bro.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's going to make some plays. There's going to be some big plays on their side of the ball.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. All right. Let's bring on Ryan Baker now. He's on loan from 97.1 The Fan. Ryan Baker's covered Ohio State or high school football, for a long time. And Bakes, looks like we got the memo correct on the Reds hats. Both of us sporting those as the Reds ended this huge game with the Pirates tonight.
Hey, boy, you Reds fans, boy. Hey, you guys are like that really nice guy,
right,
that has a blind date with a hottie. And you finally get your shot. You like, ooh, wee. If I could just baby, just give me a shot. Right. I would show you that I can do this.
I got to be honest. I'm just wearing this hat because it matched my fan shirt today. I quit paying attention to the Reds a month ago when they lost 2 games to the Brewers that they shouldn't. So I'm rooting hard for them. I hope they get into the playoffs, but I'm not getting my heart broken. They got to get
no faith
first. No faith. I'm a Reds, Browns, and Blue Jackets fan. Yeah. I have no faith in anything. So.
Hey, but you know what? I know I can go to battle with you, RB. You know why? Because, bro, when your fandom goes that low and you're still a fan, boy, I know I can go to an alley and they're gonna have 4 big dudes, and I know you're not gonna run away, baby. I know you ain't gonna run away. Jesus,
I tell everyone I hate being a Browns fan, but I just can't leave, so I can't pull a Tito and bail on him.
Bakes, who are the top teams in Central Ohio this year?
Well, I think you got to start with one of the state champions from last year, and that's in Division III with Bishop Watterson. They won that state title last year. They brought just about everybody back. Their quarterback, Drew Bellisari, obviously he's got some bloodline there with his dad being Greg Bellisari, former Buckeye. But he is very good at that quarterback spot. I think he went for 5 touchdowns last week in their game against Harvest Prep, combined between rushing, throwing, and I believe he even had a pick 6. They put him back there at safety where he played as a sophomore. First of all, was a starter at safety as a sophomore before he became a quarterback. And they're just very dynamic. Their defense is so good. They got 2 defensive linemen in Jack Schuler and I think it's McCoy in the middle there that are just tough as nails. I don't know how anybody moves the ball on them. And then maybe a surprise to some people, Olentangy Orange looks really good in Division I. That's actually our game of the week on the Fan this week. They're traveling over to Hilliard to take on Davidson. And Levi Davis, their quarterback, is just a special athlete. I watched him win a state championship on the basketball court this past winter. And you were talking about Bo Jackson and that bounce he's got. Man, Levi Davis has some bounce. He's gonna be a good dual threat guy down there at OU the next couple of seasons for them.
Can I say something about Levi real quick? Listen,
yeah, go ahead.
Even when we watch movies, right, the star quarterback is the guy. He has the grades, the great attitude. Everyone loves him. He's the protector of the campus.
Right.
Like, and everything goes his way in every sport. I can't make this up. That's Levi Davis, bro.
Really, yeah.
This dude is like the quintessential adult or kid coming up. He's a 3-star athlete, literally the leader, the most likable, grades, attitude, everything. I'm actually surprised that he committed to OU so fast.
Well, and I think one of the things with that, I kind of compare it to Andrew Leonard, who was the quarterback for Olentangy Liberty last year. If Andrew Leonard was 6'2", 6'3", I feel like he'd be at Ohio State right now. But he's 5'10", so he's at Findlay. Levi Davis is right there at that 6 foot mark. If Levi Davis was 6'2", 6'3", every Big Ten school would be offering him.
Interesting. What do you think about? And I'm interested to seeing them play. They have a very well-rounded team. It's actually really fun to watch them because they are well-rounded in pretty much every position. Watterson is very well coached, very well coached with a couple really strong dudes. I watched a team play 2 weeks ago, and they have the look. I don't know if they have the mental.
Right.
And that was Pickerington North. That doggone team is probably one of the most athletic teams that I've seen in Central Ohio since those old school Pick Central teams.
Well, and that's kind of been the story with Pick North here for a decade now, is they've always got the horses, but it seems like somewhere along the way, whether it be coaching or just a lack of discipline on the field, whatever it is, there's always something that trips them up. But you're right. They've got some dudes led by Jaron Mock, their quarterback, who is committed to play for Eddie George at Bowling Green. He's another one of those guys that's got a little bounce in him. And listen, roster-wise, dude for dude, Pickerington North may be that team. I just think people kind of expect them to be Pickerington North at some time and stumble up a little bit.
So this is what I think. In the understanding, generally, you have these athletic teams that don't have the grace to make mistakes, right? Because you can't make up. They have so much talent this year that I think that the mistakes that they're just going to make, or like from the sideline to the field, they have so much athletic ability that I think it just may make up if things kind of fall in the playoffs in their way when it comes to that tournament, man. They're really athletic at every position.
Well, and that could be. You never know. Their only loss so far this year is to Lakewood St. Ed's. We know how good they are. They beat St. Ignatius, who I believe is 4-1 on the year as well right now. They handled Pick Central. It was a lower scoring game, but they handled them pretty easy, beat them 17-3. So it could be, to me, I've got to see it before I back everything there over in Pickerington North.
I agree. I understand.
So, Bakes, when you look at, you talk about, Lakewood St. Edward, these traditional powerhouses across the state, is there someone who's not a traditional powerhouse across the state that's really caught your eye this year?
Man, that's tough. I don't know if there is one in the bigger school divisions, to be obvious, unless it's Olentangy North here in town, right? Because they're a school that has not ever just got over that hump, and I think they've
been close before, right? They've been close. They just haven't been able to take that. Yeah,
yeah, they've been close. It's just never right there. I'm trying to think of anybody around the state that's a big surprise. One here locally that we're going to find out a little bit here this week is in Division III, Region 11, Linden McKinley. They're 5-0 right now, and they're sitting 3 there in Region 11, I think, which is what Watterson is. They're number 1. Linden McKinley has a big game with Grandview this weekend, and Grandview's number 1 in Region 23 in Division 6. And there's a lot of people that think Grandview is a team that will be in the state Final Four, definitely maybe that state championship game, because Grandview has got a couple dudes. Henry Ollinger is the real deal running back that's committed to Indiana. So that's a pretty fun smaller school matchup this week between Grandview and Linden McKinley that we'll kind of see, if Linden McKinley is the real deal or not.
Interesting. I always love in Central Ohio. I always love when you hear the city schools, because you don't hear them much. Back people don't understand, and some of the OGs is listening to the show, they'll understand back in the day, everything kind of came through Columbus, Ohio back in the day. And I always ask them, one thing when I came here, I noticed coming from Youngstown, just the team aspect of expectation always prevailed that you're going to be good one way or the other. We don't care what you got.
Right.
You're going to be good. Well, down here's a little bit different. It kind of go in 3 to 4 year spurts. And I asked the fellas, well, how come they say busing? They all say busing.
Right.
Busing messed everything up because now the Briggs kid can now go to Linden McKinley, and the Linden McKinley kid is going to go over to Westerville South. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always encouraging. Every year, every other year, you find a city, Columbus City school that kind of pops his head out up there. So it's kind of cool to hear that name.
So, Bake, you guys, good.
You was to say, Tito, the old Brookhaven guy, loves to hear that for sure. Let me give you one more in Division III, Region 11 there. Buckeye Valley is 5-0. It's the first time, we heard it's the first time they've been 5-0 since the first year the school was open back in 1963. Wow. They got a really big win last weekend against Hamilton Township, and their schedule sets up really nice. Buckeye Valley is going to be a fun one to watch in that Region 11 as well.
Thanks, Bakes. We appreciate it. Tell us about your show on Friday nights.
So it's high school football overtime on 97.1 The Fan. It's sponsored by Byers Subaru Dublin. Lee Cochran and he's used to be the editor over at This Week News and This Week Sports, and they were the best at covering high school football. So Lee and I have done a scoreboard show together. This is our 12th season together, I believe, and we just run through all the scores in Central Ohio. We usually talk to 2, 3, 4 coaches each week, and it's just pretty fun. If you want your high school football scores, or if you're driving home from a high school football game on Friday night, we'll try to keep you entertained and informed on what's going on in Central Ohio.
I'll tell you this, Bakes. I was at the Columbus Dispatch for years. Friday nights during football and basketball season were always amazing and such a rush. The Dispatch do such a great job of covering high school football. Yeah. They don't do it anymore. But listening to your show, though, that's where you get your news now. Listen to Baker and Lee on Friday night, and you'll get all the scores you need. And it's better than the newspaper. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, don't pick on my guys Perpura and Dorena over there at the Dispatch. They do as good as they can over there.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do exactly. That's exactly right. They do as well as they can under the circumstances. Bakes, we appreciate the time. We'll talk again next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that was
RBZ.
That was Ryan Baker there joining us here on the Jeff Thitoff Show with Jimmie Bell. And I want to wrap things up here shortly. I want to talk a little bit about, I want to get your opinion on this. And I'm going to ask you a question that I never thought I would have asked anybody before.
And you can ask me, baby.
For the next 2 years, would you rather be Indiana football or Clemson football?
Man, if you don't get out of here with that bull, man, Indiana all day.
Clemson's a perennial playoff team.
Man, if y'all don't get out of here with that bull job, listen, man, let's do the history. Clemson sucks. Let's do the history.
They don't suck.
Let me do it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Clemson sucks. South Carolina football sucks.
Okay.
They got Dalbo.
Uh-huh.
They sucked. Dalbo got a recruiting class that he gets all the credit for.
Sure.
His recruiting class was so dope. If you remember, they had a 4-year run.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, in the 3rd year, he got the defensive guys to stay an extra year. South Carolina football, bro. Let's be honest. South Carolina Gamecocks didn't get relevant till Lou Holtz and his old tail decided to go down there and coach for a couple years. You see what I'm saying? There's a couple places in the country where they have some of the best athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Their college football sucks. Chicago is one of them.
Yeah.
Great athletes in Chicago.
Sure.
They can't get them dudes to stay home for nothing.
Yeah.
Illinois?
Right.
Northwestern? Double?
Yeah.
Right? South Carolina's some of the best athletes that I didn't even realize how good until I went to the league and I played with some South Carolina State guys.
Right.
HBCU, bro, these dudes was ballers. Bro, they went and got dudes that played basketball.
Right.
Taught them football.
Yeah.
Like, that's how dope they were. Bro, they can't get them to stay home, but Dalbo did. He had a couple of those recruiting class, and he lost it, bro. We're going off of the pretty stadium. We're going off of the pompous and circumstance.
Right.
But the reality is after that recruiting class left, they haven't been the same, bro. But if you think about it, he built it in that 5-year sprint. He gets credit for that.
Right.
They stunk before that.
In 82, they won the national title, went undefeated.
Bro, Jesus,
and then
did Jesus wear Birkenstocks or Uggs?
Okay.
Jesus was walking the earth in the 80s. What are you talking about?
Okay. So, but I'm saying though, like I never thought though I would have that question. Like if you look at how good Clemson was in their peak with Dabo, in their peak, and how low Indiana was, I never thought I would say I'd rather be Indiana football than Clemson football. And I think they're at that point.
But this is the difference. I told people to hang in there with Coach Day.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be this prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it would be this prevalent. But one thing that Ohio State and Coach Day has done better than anybody is we are in a new age of NIL and transfer portal.
Right.
You got to find a way to manage through it and control it, or you're not going to win.
Right.
Ohio State has done the best job of allowing the foundation of being a Buckeye to still be 100% prevalent. No one else is doing that. It's all about the money first.
Right.
And then, you're kind of building your fandom or your loyalty. It's being a Buckeye first.
Sure.
So no one's sacrificing an extra $100,000 or even $1 million to go somewhere else.
Gotcha.
Everyone else is doing that.
Right.
Well, the Indiana coach, and I think he was waiting. I think he knew something. He was like, bro, something's coming.
Right.
I'm just going to go somewhere that's going to give me the support and the money that I need.
Yeah.
And he picked Indiana, and guess what they're doing? They coughing up that cheese.
Yeah.
And, bro, I think it's incredible. People can say fluke last year,
right.
And we probably all kind of thought that.
I absolutely thought it, yeah.
Not fluke, but we give them credit for what they did. But we're like, dude, can you sustain that? And listen, bro, them dudes, they believe that guy.
Signetti's done a great job there. And I said last year will be the best year Indiana ever has in football. And I'm starting to wonder now if I was wrong about that because they looked damn good against Illinois. I thought Illinois would give them a game, and it was not even close.
Which was weird, bro. I loved that Vilma came back to the Big Ten.
Uh-huh.
I never compare conferences.
Right.
Because what it takes to be successful in a particular conference,
sure.
It's just not the same. And the Big Ten is just as particular as it gets.
Brett Bean was built for the Big Ten.
He's freaking built, and it's very prevalent.
Sure.
He got to Illinois, and he looked like Wisconsin.
Yeah, right, yeah.
He literally took them from zero back in the mix from nothing. But, bro, there's nothing that would have made me think that Indiana would bully them like that.
I know. It was amazing to watch. It was incredible to watch.
I think it's the real deal. I think he's that guy. But people, let's put this in perspective. That Indiana coach, he's a slickety-nickety guy,
right?
Which means he's a true Midwest guy.
Sure. And
he's a recruiter. If you ever read Nick Saban's book, the precipice of his success is the recruiting. They recruit literally a very specific type of dude.
Right.
People think it's just the best in the country. No, they don't just go after that. Very coach trustless. You got to fit in our program.
Yep.
So he's the guy that recruited Derrick Henry. He recruited Julio Jones. Yeah. And there's a couple other pretty prevalent dudes that he recruited. Yeah. So this guy, when it comes to college football, I'll give you an example. When when Coach Vrabel got fired from the Texans, from Tennessee,
right?
He came to the Buckeyes.
Right. It's been a year here.
The word is Coach Meyer asked him one question, and it wasn't if you can coach.
Right.
It was, can you recruit?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
College football is different. Our running back coach is similar, even though he can coach.
Right.
He's a recruiter. That dude, if you ever get a chance, and maybe I'll get him on, try to get him on the show.
Let's do it.
Phenomenal.
I've heard him talk. The dude's just, he's incredible. He really is. Yeah.
And you listen to his story, God, bro, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But it's can you recruit, and can you recruit accurately?
Right.
And that guy knows how to put his recruiting together. And it's very obvious, bro.
Yeah.
Think about it. George Mason, was it George Mason? Where did he come from?
No, he came from James Madison, right?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I knew it was one of them.
One of the presidents.
Right, one of the presidents. Right. One of the presidents.
Yeah, right.
Wait, bro, he brought the team and they competed.
Yeah.
And we can say, but he had to reconfigure that whole thing in transfer portal and recruiting.
Yeah.
And we're getting something similar.
Yeah. And
he said this though. He said it. He said, man, he said, God built me for this day.
Yeah.
He said that last year. So I'm a fan, but keep it going. Clemson, they're done, bro. Dauble's done with his little arrogant self. I'm so bro. I'm not. I bet you he's a great human being, and I bet you he can barbecue. But other than that, his pompousness and his self-righteous arrogance and standing on the podium when no one invited him up there, bro. I'm just not a fan, bro. I've never been a true hardcore coaching leader Daubel Sweeney fan.
All right, let's I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's it's a big weekend in college football. So later on this week, Jimmy and I'll get together again. We'll talk college football, get ready for the weekend. A lot of big games, a lot of games where teams are going to show us who they really are. We got the Penn State Oregon game. We got Alabama, Georgia. We'll do all that, though. We'll come back. We'll do some of that also. And then next week, we'll have Baker on again, talk about high school football. It's a big weekend coming up in sports. This has been the Jeff Thitoff Show. Thank you, Jimmy. And we'll do it again here maybe on Friday. We'll get together and knock this out again.
We'll make it happen, big baby. I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. We'll talk to you soon, folks. Bye.
Holler.